can I shoot just using a bag of irons? I've got the brand new P770s and P7CBs, and we're going to find out. Okay, so this is possibly one of the most excited I've been about a new iron launch in forever, because I mean, look how gorgeous these are. They're also nearly called as new irons, and I kind of feel like TaylorMade have just designed these out of my brain. I had the MC770 combo before in the previous range, and I loved them, but the only issue I had was there was a slight gap between the blend of the sets when I was combo setting. Now, this has kind of been solved in this new range. The CB sits slightly above the MC, it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more forgiving. It's designed for a low handicap club golfer now, rather than being designed for a Tour Pro, which is what we saw with the previous MC. So I'm super excited to take these out on the course and see how they perform. So let's see what I can shoot for 9 holes, just using irons. I'm going to use a combo set of the 2 clubs, just see what I feel like out on the course, see what the performance is like, and hopefully at some point I'm going to be able to stop and do a bit of a head-to-head comparison against my old set, see where the improvements are. Right, let's get on with it. Okay, first hole at Alwoodley, quite a long par 4, so this could be interesting. Luckily it is a little bit downwind. We've got P774 iron, 369 yards. Let's see how we get on. I mean, I hit that really far out the toe, but it's gone dead straight and we're in play. We could have quite a long iron in. While you're here, if you could take a second to hit that subscribe button, it would really help the channel. Over 75% of people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, and having more subscribers really helps in terms of content opportunities and just what we can do for the channel. And while you're there, you might as well like this video and drop a comment if there's any other content you'd like to see. Right, back to the review. Okay, we've got 184 yards. I've never had that far into this hole before. I feel like it's going to be another 4 iron. Maybe we'll hit the CB this time and see the differences. Definitely a smaller top line and a smaller build. The 770 is much more confidence inspiring if you're someone who likes a bigger head, wants a bit more kind of feel that there's going to be a bit more forgiveness and ball speed after the shot. Oh, these are so soft though. They feel so different off the face. These are like super impressive in terms of feel. You can kind of tell why the Tour Pros really like these, because they're so soft off the face, and some of that comes through the forging process. These do have kind of multi-material in the club head, but they are forged a 5th time after those materials go into the bottom of the club head, so that gives you that really soft feel. I'm pretty impressed that I actually managed to get down here with that 4 iron from that lag, because it's a pretty small club head. I didn't think it'd get this far. I mean, obviously it did bounce a bit, which helped. I've gone CB pitching wedge, because to be honest, it's so small, it's pretty much like most people's gap wedges or lob wedges. That came out a lot faster than I expected. The feel was super nice though. So it'd be really nice to make this and not start off with a bogey in this challenge. Although this is probably the longest par 4 I'm going to play. There's a lot of swing on this as well. Break, break. Ah. Too firm. Right. Bogey to start. We need to trend a little bit from here. Okay, hole 2. Pretty much 250 yards, so at least we can hopefully get to this one with some shorter clubs. Now, the shortest club I've got is a pitching wedge, which typically I would hit like 120. So I'm going to have to be a bit tactical about what I hit off the tee here. It is a bit uphill. I'm just going to hit a 9 iron. So I'd like to make things a bit easier on myself and not have to do loads of 3/4 shots into the green. Look at these clubs though. They're just so good looking. Like I can't get over how much I like the look of these. Nice. Can't get over how soft these feel. These almost feel like blades. They just feel so pure, which is really impressive to get like that sound and feel off a club that has a little bit of tech in the bottom of it. Also interestingly, I feel like that definitely flew higher than my MC 9 iron would. That makes sense. There's a little bit more weight lower in the head, so that's going to launch the ball a little bit higher, but it's definitely something that will kind of suit the club golfers more. Okay, I've left myself 110, so my maths was not far off there. We're just going to have to hit a soft pitching wedge, so I think that's all right. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like to hit these kind of soft 3/4 shots around the green, because what I really loved about the MCs was just how small that pitching wedge blade was, and it felt like I could really easily hit 3/4 shots and like the sole came through the turf really nicely, which historically I've not loved doing with the pitching wedge. Now I don't think these are massively bigger. In fact, Matt Bovey, who's like the head of design for these, said these are 2mm bigger than the MCs. So I think we should still be able to have that really nice kind of turf interaction here. 110, slightly uphill, slightly downwind. Oh, that looks good. Please be as good as you look. Nice. I think we've got a good look at birdie there. Let's go make it. God, why is it so windy at the moment? Right, I feel like I'm going to have to make some putts today to make a decent score because I am making the course significantly long for myself. Please turn. Oh, absolutely smacked it. Okay, got par on the board. Got 2 par 5s coming up now, so we need to make the most of that opportunity. So one of the big differences in terms of technology between these two sets of irons comes down to the CG, and that's because the 770 here has something which TaylorMade calls flighted CG. This means throughout the set, the CG is in a specific position to get the right launch characteristics for that club. So CG stands for centre of gravity, and that's just where the majority of the weight in the club head is. So in the longer irons, like the 5 iron here, it's lower down. That's going to help you launch the ball higher, it's going to be more forgiving, get you a bit more ball speed. When we move to the lower irons, like the pitching wedge, we don't really need this. So the CG can be moved up higher to get the right flight characteristics for that club. Now, when we move into the CBs, the CG is actually consistent through the iron set, and that's just because typically the kind of player that would be using them wants consistency through the bag and to know what window the ball is going to come out in every time. Now, for me, I would typically use a 770 at the top of my bag in the longer clubs because I just do need a little bit extra height and ball speed in that area. I'm going to go 5 iron here instead of 4, just to get variety and try and hit every club through the set. That has gone very high. Definitely feels like that flies higher than my current 770. We will put that head to head in a bit though. Right, 193 to the pin, 185 to the middle. It's only 170 to the front. It's a bit downwind. I think I'm just going to hit the 776 iron. I think that will be enough to get there. Oh, that's perfect. Actually could be too far. It's launched impressively high. Stop. I can't quite tell. We're either on the back or just on the back fringe, but it's quite impressive. On par 5 with 2 irons. We'll take that. Okay, we're just over the back. I'm going to try use the 778 iron to hit a really little bump and run. It's not normally play I go for, but I just think I need to test some different shots out, see what the versatility is like. I'm going to toe up a little bit to take some of the ball speed out. Came out pretty nicely. Maybe I should do that more often. I wondered if these would come off with too much ball speed chipping, but no. That's really nice. Birdie secured. Back to level par. You'd love to see it. Okay, another par 5, but this is straight into the wind and uphill, so it's definitely going to play longer. So I need a 4 iron. I'm actually going to go for the CB here because I feel like I might come out a bit lower and I can maybe just chase it a bit more on this wind. See how we get on with that. This, interestingly, I still feel like this looks big enough to feel like I could be confident hitting it, but I would say it is significantly smaller, and you would notice that if you're standing between the two. There's less offset, which personally someone who misses it left I like, because more offset kind of shuts the face down more typically. And the face almost looks a little longer because it's thinner. I don't think that is the actual case. That's so nice. Surprisingly, I get more height and kind of ball speed and distance out of that than I would expect looking down it. And we'll find out when we get up there because my Garmin tells me how far my shots have gone, so we'll see if that perception is the same as the reality. You can definitely tell that these come out lower, probably at least 10 feet. We're going to double check that on Trackman later. So my watch is saying that's gone 183 yards, which I'm pretty impressed with into that wind. Typically with my 4 iron, on a real good like ball striking day, my P770, I'm looking for it to go 185. So for that to get anywhere close, like into the wind, obviously there's a bit of run included there. I think that's really good. It's definitely a pickup in terms of distance. If I'd hit a 4 iron P7MC, it would not have gone anywhere near that, and the strike quality wouldn't have been as good. However, still got 220 yards to the green. So I think here we're just going to go with the strategy of hitting the 4 iron P770 as far down as I can get and do another little chip and run like we did on the last, because that worked out really nicely. Now I would definitely say these are bigger. This is bigger than the previous P770. I can actually see the back of kind of this bit behind the ball, which definitely wasn't the case before. And interestingly, I have the P795 iron here. I think if you look at like the new P770 here and the P790, there's not a massive difference in terms of size of sole, and even in the top line really. So if you're someone who's kind of moving down to the 770 because you want something that's more compact, that might not necessarily be the case anymore. Hopefully you can see how much more height was on there. than the CB that hit off the tee, and that was off a tee peg. So if you're someone who needs to get more launch, more height, 770 is perfect for that. Let's get a CB9. I'm going to try pitch it just over this hill and hope it'll run up to the green. Hit it. Oh, that went straight over the hole. It's definitely a bit firm though. Definitely not as easy of a birdie putt as the last hole, but it's a birdie putt, so we'll take it. Okay, this is quite significantly downhill. It's also a massive curler. So let's see how we get on. I mean, I thought it was a massive curler. It barely moved at all. That conned me. Great pace control though. Okay, par. Still level par. We've now got a couple of fiddly par 4s. Let's see how we get on there. Okay, I'm going to hit a 7-iron with both here on Trackman so we can see the difference in terms of numbers. For scoring purposes, let's just say my first shot here is going to be the one that counts towards my whole score. Starting with the CB. Struck that really nicely. The feel's just incredible. I absolutely adore the feel of these clubs. 81.7 club head speed, 108.9 ball speed, 6259 spin, which is really pretty high for a 7-iron, 158.7 carry, total 173, height 80. Let's see what the difference is here. That's probably a little longer than normal because we are a bit downwind. Now, all being equal in terms of strike, I would expect this to go a bit higher, potentially a little further. Strike felt good. See what the numbers are saying. I actually went a little shorter. Sometimes I have a weird thing where I do that. I just like swing smaller clubs a little faster. I think they feel more comfortable visual to me, and that's what's happened here. I only swung it 1 mile an hour slower, so 80.4, 107.6 ball speed, spin 5200, see that was dropped down, carry 156.9, so pretty similar. Height 72.5, total 176.3. The big difference actually was in turf interaction. I hit down significantly more on the CB, which obviously helped me a bit in terms of the strike. The launch angle was almost identical, spin 100 down with this. Interestingly, the height was higher with the CB. Definitely not what I would have expected. I think I will get away with that more with the shorter irons where I feel more comfortable. When we get into the long irons, that would definitely flip. 130 downwind uphill. Need spin to stop this. Go in, CB pitching wedge. Be interesting to see how far this goes, because I would say one thing with my MC pitching wedge, I sometimes felt like it didn't really go that far and it was almost too similar to my gap wedge. See, I didn't even strike that my best and it's got all the way up there. Definitely gives me a little bit more confidence over the MC that like I don't have to be perfect and it's going to get me the right distance. I mean, I think that's really good. At the end of the day, I'm not a tour player, so I need a little bit more forgiveness than they do. Okay, outside chance, but at least this one, it's not really downhill, so give it a bit of a run. Go, go. Oh, gotta hit it. I love how I was literally like, yeah, I'll give this a run. Didn't get it there. It's another steady par though. I'll tell you what, maybe it's a lesson here because I can't really get in much trouble if I hit irons off the tee all the time. So I just wanted to show you the differences in terms of size here. So this is the MC that I had last year. This is the new CB. This is the new 770. And then this is the current P790. So you can see the difference in kind of size and sole shape in here. Obviously, in theory, as you move from this smaller end to this bigger end, it's going to be easier to hit it further. It's going to be more forgiving. But as we saw on the last tee, that's not always the case. Now, I would say so far from hitting these, there's definitely way more forgiveness in the 770. If I kind of hit a post strike with this and the CB, I'm going to see much more of a drop off in the CB in terms of distance, launch and just overall consistency. But actually when I'm swinging at my best, I'm hitting the CBs the best, and that's just for me. I like the smaller sole and I like how it goes through the turf. It gives me more confidence to swing freely, and that's why you should really always go get fit, because you can't always just rely on this is what this club does, this is what this club does, you should use this if you swing it like this or you hit it like this. Because even just looking at a club makes you swing differently, and sometimes just seeing less loft or more loft can make you present the club differently and make you hit different shots to usual. So always worth going and hitting each model if you're considering using them, rather than just picking which one you think you're going to hit best. Right, I'm going 6-iron in the CB. So far I feel like these are so much more forgiving than the MCs. Now, We're not directly comparing them because these aren't a replacement for the MCs, they're like a new alternative. But I think in terms of a combo set, I could pull these up the bag further than just the kind of pitching wedge to 7-iron that I had in the MCs, and might be comfortable with this in even a 6 and a 5. So I'm going to test this out a bit and see how I hit it, and if it still goes well if I don't kind of perfectly strike it. See, I just love the shape of that. I feel like that's just a perfect size for me behind the ball. And it still has a really nice high ball flight. For me, I know I need to start changing into a bigger model or looking at hybrid or a fairwood when the peak height comes down. If you can't get the right height, you're not going to get the maximum kind of carry and consistency that you need out on the course. Okay, we've got 124, which is my pitching wedge distance. I'm going to go for the 770 this time, see what the difference feel like to me. I wouldn't say generally the head size looks massively different here. They're both very similar shaping, which I think is nice because you can kind of combo through them. Really, it's only the top line that's much different here. And to be honest, because it's so lofted, you can't really see it. I mean, I've managed to control that really nicely. I definitely had to hit that 3/4 to kind of get it the same distance, because I feel like if I'd hit it full out, it would have gone past what I hit with the CB earlier. It's definitely not as soft, it feels firmer off the face, you can kind of hear that in the sound too, but it's still really nice and controllable, and you can hit controlled shots into the green with these. So if you feel you want the forgiveness, a bit more confidence inspiring head, a bit bigger looking club, you can still hit all the shots with these, and that's really important. So if we're going on dispersion alone, maybe I should be giving a full set of the 770s. That was a very easy birdie. A 1 under. Could be my best vlog score ever. Okay, we've got 124 again, but this hole always plays uphill and into the wind. It plays so much longer. So I'm going to go for a little 8-iron with the CB. Just kind of hit it soft and make sure I get it there. I actually might need a full one of these if wind feels strong. There's definitely some progressive shaping in this set, because you can see significantly when you move from the 8 to the 7, these kind of get longer and shorter rather than like more kind of round, like apple shaped. Such a strong side wind. Stay. I think that might have just grabbed a piece of the back fringe. I can't really say how impressed I have been with these irons so far. I'm not entirely sure how they've managed to make clubs that are so small and compact feel like absolutely incredible, like so soft, but still deliver like forgiveness and distance. This is just like the iron I've always dreamed of. Because I hate something big and bulky. I love something small, but I need a little bit of extra height and distance because I'm only little. Something's got to help the girl out. Right, let's go for another CB little pitching wedge chip. Try and redeem myself after I hit the other one so hard. With these, when I don't want it to come up with too much ball speed, I kind of like just raise the handle, hit it a little off the toe. It should come off a little softer then. Come on, take the break. Very good distance control. Did think it was going to slightly break more than that though. I'd really like to make this putt. I feel like the chip deserves it. Yes. Very pleased with that up and down. So to be honest, I'm completely sold on the CBs at this point. I think they're incredible iron. What I want to do is a little more head-to-head testing with my current 770 and the new one. See what the differences are, particularly at the top of the bag, because I'll definitely pull these in at some point. 4-iron, maybe 5-iron too. Now, I personally feel behind the ball that the new 770 is a lot bigger. So the one on the left here on the overlay, you can see the back of the club. I'm not sure I love that. So it's going to have to perform better in terms of data for me to put that in play. Right, struck that really nicely. Let's hit the other one and then we'll compare the numbers. Okay, those are literally a foot from each other in the fairway, so see what the data says. Okay, so the first ball, 84.7, club head speed, ball speed 126.1, smash factor 1.49, so very efficient, launch angle 14.2, 3,977 spin. That's really good for a 4-iron with like this amount of tech in it. Height 77.9, carry 194.2. Definitely inflamed a tad because we're downwind. Land angle 37.7 for a total of 214, so pretty good data to be honest with the new 770. Really nice. Now if we go back to my 770, which definitely, remember I said I prefer the visual of that, and this is how it feeds back. I swung it a mile an hour faster, so 85.6. That's led to 127 ball speed, so 1.48. So you can definitely say the new one's a little bit more efficient off the face. We're getting kind of more ball speed for putting less in. Launch angle almost identical, 14.1. Spin within 100 RPM, so 3,829. Height 78.7. So, I mean, a foot higher than the new version. Carry 201. So it has flown like 6 yards further through the air. Land angle 36.2, so not quite as kind of steep coming in. It's not going to stop as quick. And that's led to a 224 total. So if you're someone who's going to hit this a lot into greens, the new one would definitely help you. It's going to come in steeper, it's going to stop quicker. Personally, I use this a lot off the tee, and I would move to my hybrid into the green, so maybe I prefer that kind of smaller, more compact shape that I visually prefer. Right, we've hit the group in front, so while I'm waiting for the green to go, we're just going to do a little MC-CB comparison in terms of 7-iron distance. Start with the MC, then we'll go back and hit my actual shot into the green. Okay, I pulled that quite a bit, but it's pretty good in terms of strikes. I think it'll give us some decent data. Oh, that went so much higher and it felt faster. Which is interesting, even though I actually pulled the first one. So first up, P7MC data. That's the 7-iron I've been using in my combo set from the previous generation of the P series. So 82.8 mile an hour club head speed, which gave me 109.4 ball speed, 1.32 in terms of smash factor, 17.7 in terms of launch, 72 feet of height. That gave me 145 yards of carry, 41.8 land angle, 156 total. I would say that's very typical of what I would have got out of this iron when I've been out on the golf course. If I maybe moved into a 770, I would expect like 150, 155 with a 7-iron, but with this, because it's so small, I have accepted that I can control it more, but I don't get as much distance. Now, P7CB. Remember, these are basically the same specs, and actually I have the MCs strengthened from their traditional loft that they came in. So 83 mile an hour club head speed, it's only 0.2 faster. 113 ball speed, so 4 mile an hour more ball speed. That got the smash factor more efficient, 1.36. My launch angle, 18.1, so a tad higher. Spin rate, which I'm really pleased with, has only dropped just under 200 RPM, so still over 6,000, and the height 82.5 feet, so an extra 10 feet of height, which is definitely crucial for me. It's given me 153.9 yards of carry, so an extra 9 yards of carry on the MC. The land angle steeper at 44.1, so I'm going to get more control coming into the green, and then the total's up at 164. So for me, that is absolutely perfect 7-iron numbers. That's like exactly what I want. It's going to gap really nicely into the 770 if I wanted to go into that from 6-iron upwards, as I have been doing in my current combo set. But to be honest, these CBs have been performing so well, I think I would drag them up a bit and include the 6-iron in my set. This iron is a big winner. It's definitely more forgiving than the MC, it launches higher, there's more ball speed, but it's just super compact and feels incredible. TaylorMade have smashed it out of the park with this. I just can't see a world in where these don't go in my bag this season. Right, 4-iron. Maximum ball speed and distance required, so going 770 because it's over 200 to that pin. Oh, that's so good. I mean, I definitely need the forgiveness and distance for that at this point. That's in the middle of the green. It's 206 to there. That's seriously impressive. Okay, I would really love to two-putt this and make birdie and have a bit of a cushion going into the 9th, because it's a very tricky long par 3. Go. Go, go, go. Oh, maybe stop. Classic. Telling it to go and it's past the pin. It's a decent birdie putt, it's a decent birdie putt. Okay. 2 under par, 1 hole to go. Surely we can finish under par for the 9. Okay, I'm just going to hit the 4-iron in both the CB and the 770 to show you the difference if you're someone who's upgrading to a new set and you're not sure if you would run the full way through these or if you need more forgiveness of this. Then we'll go back and hit my actual shot for the hole to try shoot under par. Okay, CB up first. I think this is why I might have to swap into the 770. So I'm going to be interested to see how easy I feel this is to strike, and if I have enough height on the shot. That's really the big thing I'm looking at. I don't want the height to drop too low because I just know it's not going to be controllable. I had another really good tip from Matt Bovey, who's like the head designer on these irons, and he was basically saying to me, if you're going somewhere where you're getting fit and you can only hit a 7 iron, a lot of them will have a stock full set in the shop, so you can put them down, have a look at them. And a lot of times when you put a club down and it looks too small and like it's unforgiving or maybe not confidence inspiring enough for you to hit, that's the point where you should switch to the bigger model or switch into a hybrid or a fairway. Now for me, when I put this 4 iron down, that's the point where I think this looks a bit like a butter knife, quite small, and it doesn't quite fill me with the confidence that the rest of the irons do. So there's a good little tip for if you're trying to figure out where you should combo set. Set them down on the floor. Does it look like you feel like you can put a really confident swing on it and strike the ball well? To be honest, that's actually flown a lot higher than I expected. I wouldn't say the strike was my Sunday best, but how often are you going to hit your Sunday best with a 4 iron? But I did feel like the ball speed wasn't enough. So let's hit the 770 and then check the numbers. You can just hear how much faster that is. Like, again, probably not my best. Flared it out a little to the right, but it's flown so much further. So it'd definitely have to be a 770 in my bag at this point, I think. So yeah, if we compare the two models there, again, what I was saying in terms of confidence, I've swung the 770 3.5 miles an hour faster, and that is purely just from looking down on it and feeling more confident. These are exact same build, same length, same shaft in it. There's no physical setup difference here that should really make me swing it faster. If anything, the CB's small, so I should move it through the air quicker. That is purely just down to confidence, and I think people maybe underestimate how important that is. So my ball speed was 122 with the 770s compared to 118 with the CB. The spin was actually near enough identical, so 4,400 in both models. That's really good to see because that's going to give me enough control with this. My height was 87 feet with the 770 compared to 68 feet with the CB. So you can see just how much that's going to give me more flight consistency and also how easier it's going to land on the green and stop. That feeds straight into the land angle, 44 with the 770, 39 with the CB. And if we look at the distance, that 770's flown 14 yards further than the CB. 176 yards with this versus 162 yards with the CB. Now we are a bit into the wind here, so I would expect probably like 8 to 10 yards more if we weren't. But that's a massive difference in terms of performance. So for me, I'll definitely need to be combo setting in the long irons. I'm going to do a bit more testing with the 5 iron. I think probably I'll take the CB up to 6 and then maybe switch 770 into my 5 and my 4 iron. Because at the end of the day, I don't have an ego and I want the clubs I'm going to hit the best. And you should too. Right, back to the round. Hope this isn't too confusing for you. 167 to this pin. Quite grateful it's a front pin today, so it's playing a bit shorter. Into the wind, I'm going to go up to the 5 iron and the 770 because I think realistically this is probably where I would switch in my combo set. A 2 to finish would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, look at that launch. That's just unbelievable for a 5 iron. I'm really pleased with that. And it's actually gone quite a bit past the pin, but it was a really, really nice strike and I feel really confident with that club. Felt to me like it flies a bit higher than my current 5 iron. Right, 2 putts to shoot 2 under. I'm not going to act like I'm trying to box this to shoot 3 under because I'm very much trying to pace put this next to this pin. Sit. Oh no. What on earth was that? Oh, I made this harder than it needs to be. Oh, the quality of that 5 iron shot really didn't deserve that. Just so much quicker than I thought it was going to be. Ugh, overread it. That is a very annoying 3 putt. We did still shoot 1 under par, just with irons, and all brand new irons to be fair. So I don't think we can complain about that. Seriously impressed with these clubs. Absolutely in love with those CBs. I think TaylorMade have done an incredible job there. They're just a perfect low handicap iron. I think they're going to be incredibly popular. We've seen that already out on tour. Rory's won with them, Collie's been using them, Nelly's been using them. I mean, there's been a win on tour with them before they even come out, which really doesn't happen very often. Now for me, what I'm calling is, I think I'm going to go pitching wedge to 6 iron CB, 5 iron 770, 4 iron, I might keep my old 770. I just prefer the shaping. I think the new 4 iron is a tad too chunky for me on the eye visually, but I am going to hit it. But I am going to go out and hit it a lot more and see if I can get used to that, because I do think the height and the launch in it's been really good, as we saw with the 5-iron here. And maybe I just need to get over it not looking perfectly how I want it to, because the performance is really good. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these, if you're going to go and test them out, and which one you think's your favourite.